All right. So just want to quickly go through some of the uh, design aspects of
Mhm.
of, um, of this whole tool. So there are a couple of things, I guess. Um, Currently, all your content is divided into different
Mhm.
workspaces, right? Now, the first scenario is that there's something existing, you want to use that, or you want to edit something that's already there, or
Mhm.
you want to use that as a base and create a copy and then build on top of it.
Mhm.
So anyone with the admin access on the group workspaces will be
Mhm.
the one who will be able to edit the content that's already been published.
Okay.
Okay. So so let's take.
So there's not a way to, um, can we give people like creation rights, but not let them mess with what's already there? Does that make sense?
They'll be able to create. I'll show you how, but they won't be able to.
I mean, like if Matthew, who was in here the other day, if I wanted him to be able to add reports and create stuff, but I didn't want him to be able to edit and delete what's there.
Yeah, but he's not. Can no, that's not possible because
Okay.
if he can add stuff to it,
Uh-huh.
and then he can edit the stuff he's added, right?
Okay.
You can't,
Yeah.
because he's created it, and then you can't tell him, okay, this you can edit, this you can't edit.
Right.
It's not.
The only way to do that would be
Create a text file.
separate.
I'll show you
workspace.
how to work with those things as well.
Okay.
So, if you have the edit rights on the workspaces, whenever you go at the report level, you should see this button which says Edit Report, which I believe, John, you've used it because you created this. And once you click on the Edit mode, it will open up the entire field list. If you want to change the chart type to something, you can change. Whatever, pull more fields to it, make a copy of it. Okay, make a copy of this page altogether, saying, okay, I want something similar, but not quite what is built. So then you would just right click on the report page, hit duplicate. When you hit duplicate, what's going to happen? It's going to just copy everything on that page to a new page, and then you can start editing those. Okay. So it could be adding more fields to it, changing some base filters, anything whatsoever, and that's kind of how you would get into the edit mode.
Is there a revision history?
No.
Okay.
There's no revision, not yet at least.
I'm thinking if we did give people the ability to edit this,
yeah,
certain ones, can we call y'all and say, okay, could you reload this?
Yeah, we will be, because we always take a backup of where the standard piece is out there, so that we will be able to.
Okay.
Do. And typically, what we would do is just put that into one of the workspaces with only access to us and maybe one person, maybe you from your end or one person from your end.
Okay.
So nobody touches that. Only we
Right.
touch that.
Right.
And then if something was wrong, we download it and just republish that.
Okay.
So that's something that we typically do.
And I guess I could probably download a PBI, whatever the files are.
PBIX.
Of those?
Yeah. So so now that's so editing the report or creating a copy, or let's say you wanted this whole report. So this report has like 4 tabs. You just wanted to use this report and create some, like, use 2 of these pages, or just create a separate report copy rather than inserting a page. You would just go in here, say save as, and say test, whatever, and then it will get saved as another report here, and then you can just go in there and edit without impacting anything on any of the existing reports. Okay, so which is pretty straightforward. Now there is another way to design this, and that is using the desktop file. So if you go into the download button on the top right, you should see something called as the Power BI desktop. If you guys haven't installed it already, please go ahead and install it so that we can go to the next step. And this, I mean, everyone should be able to do it. It's not restricted to only admin access.
Okay. I don't think I did it on my laptop.
Let's just install this. You don't have to do all that. Sign in already.
Oh.
I don't know why mine is stuck at this point. Completing space requirement.
Where did my mouse go? Touchscreen.
Whenever you want to create something from scratch, not use anything existing, just use the data set in BI and create this. You should do that from the desktop version. Just give me a second while the mine loads up. Finish.
Yeah, and do some acrobatics here. Our projector keeps getting just noticed I couldn't see the page tabs when you were clicking on them earlier.
Okay. Let me just copy of the server on my machine. So once you have that installed, you open the Power BI desktop. Okay. Go to Get Data. It'll ask you to sign in if you're opening this for the first time. Once you sign in, go to Get Data. Go to Power BI, and then you click on the Power BI data set. And then you could choose as to, okay, where do I want to create this? Do I want to create this in equipment, finance, parts, service, wherever? So let's say I wanted to create something on the finance side. So I expand that and select my source as, let's say, finance in this case, depending on where you want to create the report. And then you say load. Okay, and then it opens up the canvas here. It gives you the field, it gives you a canvas of the place where you can create your report. So let's build something simple. So say I'm going to build a sales customer name. Okay. Remove this. Branch. So I just selected a customer name in the axis. I put the sales under the values, and I just excluded the NA hash customer because that's for the migrated piece. This is some dummy report. You could be creating anything for that matter. Now let me create another pie chart with the branch name and the sales value. Yeah, and put on some time period. So let's say fiscal year. And let's look for fiscal month and put those. And let's have this selected. We can keep going on depending on what you want to create, right?
Is there a way to, I was messing with year and month yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way to filter the years and months to just the last 12 or something so that they don't see the future 10 years or whatever it is?
So you take the last 12 months filter.
Stick it in
And
the page.
current,
Okay.
or I mean variable basically. Now you would only see last 12 months.
Okay. Cool.
So this is last 12 months. Now let's say what you created, you like it, and I think, and you think it's okay to, like, start publishing that. You would just say file and save as, like you'll have to save this file saying sales test report or whatever you want to name that as. Once you've saved that report and you're ready, everything looks okay to you, just hit publish. When you hit publish, what is happening is this report is getting published onto the Power BI web app, like the website that we are accessing Power BI from. So I think we did this in finance. So now all of us will be able to see that in the finance with the name sales test. And this is what it would look like when it's published.
Awesome.
Right? And now you can edit it over here or do whatever. Okay. There is another side to this. So does that make sense? Like using of the desktop? Okay. There is another piece to it. Let's say you wanted to take the existing report in the desktop and then do something with it. And let's say that's what you wanted to do. So let's pick up monthly profitability. So you wanted to take this report in the normal desktop format and then do something ahead with it. So you would go to File, and you would say Download Report. What it's doing is it's downloading the desktop file. And then you say Open, and it's going to open this in the desktop file. Now it's going to let you do all the edits that you wish to do on it and just publish it with a different name or whatever. Or just publish it with the same name. If you publish it with the same name, then we'll just overwrite the one which is already there. So we saw how do you edit a report in it. We saw how you take the existing report in the desktop file. We saw how we create a report from scratch in the desktop. Now the other way to kind of design on the BI data set is by using Excel. To use an Excel, whichever data set you want to kind of build the Excel report on. So if you have the edit rights, it's only then you would see these data set tabs. If you don't, you will not. You would just expand and say Analyze in Excel. It'll download something called as the ODC file. Then you open that up, and it will bring up the entire data set in Excel as well.
Wow.
Have you tried that?
I've tried it before, but that sounds like just an external data connection.
Yeah, it's connected to the.
And then you can save this and just hit refresh, and it would go grab the newest data.
Right.
Awesome.
So, and this is like Excel pivots, which. So,
Used to filters being on the bottom too. So if we have a financial statement that's not in that list, it's because y'all have to load it explicitly? Okay.
because it's in progress, right? We only load it once the creation is completed.
Oh, okay.
Right? Because if we load it midway and then suddenly change and the future data is fine, then we'd have to always re-extract and load
Okay.
all the data.
This could be really interesting. So if we save this Excel file and send it to somebody else that has BI,
Automatic update.
so they would just have to re-sign in? Or does
Yeah,
it say
I
they
would
sign in?
just say, as far as, I think it's going to be automatic by default. If not, you go to data, queries and connection. Yep, it's connected anyway, so.
Huh. That's pretty cool.
Refresh data when opening the file. Enable background refresh. So it's refreshing in the background as well. So even while you're using it, and if it gets refreshed, it's gonna work. So and then once it's ready, it's like just save the Excel, and that's available for you to distribute it to whoever has access to the API.
Okay.
There's also a provision to if you will. So I created this Excel, right? And let's say I wanted to upload this Excel over here in my BI. So go files, let's say local file.
So that somebody else could download it?
No, they can't download it. It's just going to be a view purpose.
That's really cool.
You could be making changes here as well. So let's say budget amount. You have to see on the data refresh, yeah, but like it's more like so once the only drawback at this point is once you upload the Excel in here, the refresh kind of doesn't happen well. But it might be useful that, let's say, previous month's financial statement, maybe you just upload it here. And then for everything else, you have that distribution mechanism. Other than this, you can put it up on your Google Drives or whatever, and then they could still, as far as they have license on BI, they should be still be able to refresh it from there.
Okay. Interesting.
So you want to give some of it a shot? Or you think you're going to be okay? Do you need to practice something together on this?
Let's see.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
I don't have that get data button in my browser. Do you know why that would be?
Because you're right. Should I make them the admins?
I'm just a member.
Surely, yeah.
Thanks.
So, taking Matthew, for example, he's a member of the workspace, but is not an admin. So he can see the reports in the workspace, but can't edit them, and can't play with the data set in Excel.
You can't play with the data set.
Okay. So what's the...
We can create a separate area for his designing or something, saying he should only be, or should he just have the admin access on the parts workspace and everything else that being, or whichever area he works for parts and service, right? So maybe he just has access to those areas where he can edit stuff, the others he can't edit.
I don't have much of a problem with that, saying that we can download the PBIX files, because then we've got a real easy fix if you mess something up by accident. Right. But the thing I was trying to figure out is, Chris and Shelley, we briefly went through apps yesterday. I'm not seeing the difference between a member of the workspace and just having the app.
There isn't. The only difference is, so the member of the workspace sees everything, and in the app I can say, okay, these are my test reports. I don't want them to see it, so I'm just going to switch that off from the app.
Okay.
And they will not see it. That's the difference.
Which I think is what we want to do for most people.
Right, for the read-only kind of a thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I just chose a random one to be the landing page.
This should.
Oh, daily dashboard, yeah.
You want to give specific emails? You don't want to do this. It's a breach of permission. Like if somebody gets into it.
Oh, if they have the free version of Power BI or something, and they get into it without one of those 40 licenses.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Well, Tina got the BMS structure back to me very quickly. Wow. Did she copy all of that? Yes, cool. So you'll have an email from Tina Clag that has the BMS financial structure in it.
Is it close to what you done, or it's different? And then they would see in apps.
Whoa.
It's a mess.
Yeah.
This one?
Mm-hmm.
Training course?
Wow. I don't even...
Need me to explain it?
That'd be great.
Okay.
Oh.
So you know those numbers I was putting in the...
Uh-huh.
That's where some of that's coming from.
So it looks like...
I started putting the full mapping in my financial, then I got tired of typing all that.
Okay.
So if you go to, Let me find it on my financial over here that I have printed out that I was mapping from.
So Shelley, see if I've got this right. It looks like we would set up this Excel sheet for tab 1. It says file 1, one-off mapping.
No, you would put the monthly BMS, right, every time.
Right. It sounds like we would set up this one-off mapping just one time initially, saying this account is this BMS stuff. And then the financial we would build for the upload would be in tab 2.
Mm-hmm. I would think that you would need to have your format in this order itself so that
Oh, yeah.
it can, whatever.
So it might be quicker, actually, to just take what I've already written and pull the numbers and I can key it in. Because I've been keying it in for a while. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if the financial that you created is working, then we don't need the upload? Or you think it's just lower priority than some other stuff?
I think it's definitely lower priority because if I have the financial and it has all the numbers I need, I could key it in really quickly.
Okay, and the financial is working for you, right? Like once we change that to balance sheet?
I haven't looked at that yet. I got sidetracked.
We had a lot of errors yesterday. A lot of licensing B shell.
Okay, maxing out.
Yeah.
How much is your concurrent licenses?
We have named licensing.
What?
Maximum.
Can we get concurrent?
It'd be great to be concurrent.
No. You have to have named licenses, but there is a max concurrency that you can.
We haven't gotten any answers on when we've asked like why it came up. They didn't tell us like we used too many licenses or hit our max limit or anything. We were trying to find out why though.
That's strange.
Yeah, I was going to look at the contract, see if anything was mentioned about concurrent. I didn't see.
I would assume since we're having to increase licenses every time we add users, that's our number of users matches our concurrent licenses. Otherwise, I don't see why we would be paying for them.
Yeah, it looks like we've got the same number of concurrent as named.
Okay, so it's maybe yesterday I was logged in. Was I the one who was maxing it out? Because I log in as a admin, right? The barn login.
Oh,
So was I the one messing it up?
We'll blame it on that.
I kind of doubt it because I think we had a buffer of like 15 users.
Oh, you do, right? You don't have everyone assigned yet.
Right.
Okay, then it's odd.
Because we didn't want to have to, every single person we hire.
Yeah, you don't want to
do a new contract.
Yeah.
But yeah. But Shelley, looking at that BMS financial, once it printed, it does take a long time to build in the report viewer, but we checked a couple of accounts, 2 or 3 accounts.
Yeah, and they look fine. Like we checked a couple of balance sheets and a couple of P&L, and then they seem to be.
They seem to be accurate against the ERP.
Okay, yeah, then I don't have a problem just using that and keying the data in. I think that would be faster and less work than trying to
upload and then verify.
Exactly.
In Yeah, in this, like, so basically this is going to be the structure of your financials essentially.
Yeah.
So if you have it in this structure and this order, just probably just hit upload and or whatever, and this would kind of take care of it.
Which is what's really strange is that format that they sent doesn't even look like the format and the order it goes when you go look online at the BMS financial.
Huh.
Yeah, maybe that's the upload format is different from what they view it as.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that could happen, like if they're so yeah.
But either way, that looks like something we could do later if we.
Yeah.
Doesn't look too bad.
So whatever that BMS structure that's built in Extend right now, it just needs to be in this order.
Yeah.
And this labels, like the description,
Right.
like the group 1 description would be this. And it's very, very simple actually in that sense.
So once you're not here, if we were to build a different report, say we wanted to keep Shelley's the way it is, so she had the.
Just copy the existing and then.
And then we'd submit an e-care to have that added to BI if we wanted it there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Once you say that it's done and ready, just do an e-care and somebody will add it to you.
Okay. Easy enough.
And then if you want to create this, you would just create this at the group 1 level. Just make a dummy group 2 and everything on a group 1. And that's kind of how they have it, looks like. It almost looks like this is cases chart of accounts, and then this one is blank. What is this one? This one is blank again. This one is
that's bizarre.
several which are blank. I know what that means. And then owner, manager, salesman. What's this for?
So the owner's manager, salesman, that's the head count?
Okay.
Which we'd have to key in manually anyway.
Right. And okay, so this is like the average rate for the month?
Yeah, our retail labor rate and our internal labor rate. I key those in.
Yeah, we just use our, not the actual invoice one, but like we charge 120 for retail labor as a general rule.
Okay, so yeah, all right. So I guess we're good on the BMS side then for now. So I was wondering if you guys want to give it a shot. Make sure you're able to get to the Excel piece and opening it in the desktop and navigating it. I mean, I know you've done a few reports, so you are getting a little more comfortable with it. So there's this.
So what about? Okay, 2 questions. If we have an Excel file that has some data and we want to mesh it with data that's in BI, can we just do that as get another source and manage relationships, link them together? And I'm sure it wouldn't publish well because the Excel file would not.
We don't. You could, and then there's nothing stopping you from uploading the Excel and taking that as a data from the raw BI source.
Okay.
We don't actually let anyone else kind of touch around with the existing data model that we've built.
Right.
Because if something goes wrong, then it's going to affect
A lot of people.
a lot of reports, and
Yeah.
because it's the same source, and if there's just some relation because of that Excel relation that you built, or something, couple of things went wrong, and all the report went bizarre, and then it's going to take twice the amount of time to clean all of that up.
Right.
So that's why we don't let anyone touch those model. But yeah, you have the raw source access. You can take the raw sources, like connect to the data, you can upload that with Excel.
Okay.
And use that. That's nothing is when it's your data that then nobody's stopping you from using it. So it's just that we can't open up that model because we
Right.
take the entire responsibility on that modeling. And if
Right.
something goes wrong, it just becomes like a nightmare to fix it.
So that kind of leads into my other question. If there's something that would be a formula.
That you can build.
Okay. So we can add those.
You can. So
Like a measure, I guess.
yes, exactly. So sales as a percentage, margin as a percent of sales. I don't whatever. So
Sales. Oh wait, you've already got sales per employee. Never mind.
so let's say you wanted to create. In fact, it's even better. So you wanted to create this. You can say add quick measure or add a new measure, and then so.
What's the difference?
So new measure you have to key in, like you have to code in the DAX.
Okay.
It's more like an Excel formula, but if you don't know it, it becomes awfully difficult to.
DAX is definitely not intuitive until you know some of it, I guess.
And then you could just say quick measures, and then it's going to open up a new window for you to say what calculation you want. You can say you want like a year-to-date total on the base value is sales or whatever cost or whatever you want to create a year-to-date for. And then you want it based on the date, which is this date, and select the date element in here, and then hit OK. It's just going to create a year-to-date calculation. It's more so like a guided tool on creating a year-to-date, like sales year-to-date.
Okay.
In the background, it's written all that crazy DAX formula that we write, but you don't have to worry about that. That's one. And then if you wanted to kind of take a simple percentage saying, let's say amount, new quick measure, you can say division. You can just say numerator, select whatever the numerator you want, whatever denominator you want, addition, subtraction. So there's a lot of it that you can just play with this create quick measure.
Okay.
And you can do that on the desktop version only. You can do that for whatever measures you want to play with.
Probably a good way to learn a little bit of DAX.
Yeah.
Do this and then you can view it.
Yeah. DAX is vast and it's getting used by the day.
Right.
It's turning into like the language for modeling data.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got too many layers. I'm not sure if of course your interest levels are different, but to get to what you need to, I don't think you need to learn a lot.
Right. It'd be the one-off strange thing that.
Yeah, and for that you can always log eCares.
Yeah.
Okay, we tried this, we got stuck. What do you
Yeah.
want us? Can you help us? This is what we're trying to create, and something will fix it.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, so yeah, I would say let's try, let's maybe plug one of you guys in, put it on the screen, and let you play with it, create some calculations, create a desktop file, upload it, see how it goes. You want to do that?
Sure. Or I guess don't even have to stick it on the screen. We can just change
go to meeting. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only us while looking at the screen. All right, so
clean screen.
share, yeah.
Shows active applications only. Huh, interesting.
Do you have a report you wanted to try and create?
I do, and then list has.
Where's your notepad?
Yeah, good question. Must have taken it in my office. Let's say. Let me try the one I was messing with already is financial, and I filtered report level by that ISO income statement 00JW. So then I think I got the groups backwards.
Yeah, let's look at something other than financial, because financial, even though you can build it here, you're going to have the sorting issues. You have to do that on the back end.
Oh,
Make sure it sorts in the order in which you set it up.
Okay.
So right now it doesn't sort. So you'll get everything correct, but it'll be sorted weirdly.
Okay.
I have to work on that, so we can try something else.
Okay. Let's see. Well, crap. I'll connect to a different data.
So which one are we looking at?
Finance.
This is finance. No, this is not. Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking at finance.
No. So what report are you looking at to create this whatever?
Good question.
You wanted to try that scorecard, like some elements of the scorecard that.
Oh, maybe absorption.
Yeah.
Or have you already done that one?
Yeah, I've already done some of it.
Oh, okay.
That you were trying to create something on service. Is that completed?
Yes, I got that one. Just turns out there's not much data because apparently we're not.
You've not invoiced a lot of quotation books.
Right.
Yes. Chris and Shelley, you have any report there you want to create? Hello?
Chris, Shelley, y'all got a particular one you want us to go through real quick?
I'm trying to think of what reports I would pull for people.
One thing we've seen problems with in the past that might be a good check is things that are open and should be invoicing but didn't invoice. Like, and I don't know what the reasons were. They fixed the few we found, but it'd be nice to report on it.
So, what do you mean, the GDNI?
Like a parts ticket that they've removed hold invoicing, all the lines are received, and it doesn't get caught by the process in the job to actually invoice that night.
Yeah, so which is GDNI, right?
Oh, okay.
The GDNI report.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you go to the account.
Okay. And I guess we'd need to know the account name.
Yeah, so go to account, fill the account name.
See which one is GDNI.
No, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Go to the FactFin analysis balance sheet.
FactFin.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Pull the balance amount. Balance amount. Yeah.
Okay.
No. On the same report.
Okay.
Okay. Now go to account name.
Account name in the filters?
Yeah. Go to advanced filtering on the filter type. Drop down on the filter type.
Ah, yes.
Advanced. Contains type GDNI. In caps, yeah. Yep, there you go.
Okay.
Got 647,000 in
parts.
You want to click on this?
Yikes.
I just want to maximize the visual.
Oops.
No.
There it is. Go figure, it's on the bottom in the desktop version.
And
yeah, Chris and Shelley, that button that maximizes it is on the top in the web version.
yeah, you want to scroll at the bottom and fully transaction type. I just want to make sure your OGL, like your opening balances, are not getting considered. So that should be transaction type. Here you go. Yeah, just take this in the background.
So, visual level or?
Yeah.
What is the
so good
difference
So
there?
you see there are 3 levels of filter
Mm-hmm.
when you design it. One is the visual level, page level, and the report level.
Oh, visual level as in that table.
Correct.
Got
So
it.
on the report level, if you put a filter on the report level, all the tabs or all the pages of the report will have that filter applied.
Okay.
If you put that at the page level, and if the report has multiple pages, the scope of that filter is limited to that page.
Okay.
And if you put it at the visual level, it's only for that grid or that chart. Okay. So when you're creating just one report on one page, it doesn't matter.
Right.
But when you create it based on, like when you're creating multiple components, that's when it matters.
What happens if you've got filters that, say you've got one on the report level on transaction type,
Mm-hmm.
and one on the visual level is transaction type? Are they additive, or do they?
One is supersede.
The visual supersede?
Yeah, so if you have like a transaction type selected on the report level, on the visual level or the page level, when you try to do that, it'll only give you the selections that are.
Oh, okay.
Because it's already filtered for that transaction type.
Okay, so it doesn't let us screw that up.
Yeah.
Good.
So go to transaction type and do advanced filtering. Scroll down. Does not contain OGL.
OGL?
Apply. Okay, does not. Okay, good. Also, go to type FSC code, because we might have multiple structures.
This one?
Yeah, take it in the background and select BS00. These are your balances. You got 242,000 on the parts clearing, 15 on the service, and 15 on the.
Okay, so I'd say there's a, although GD&I, does that?
These are goods which are delivered, but not invoiced.
So either we've got hold invoicing checked, or it hasn't invoiced something it should have.
Or somebody's not invoiced. Like it's not gone for processing.
There's supposed to be a job nightly that's automatically doing it.
If it is delivered and no, you have to put that on the job, right? You have to say this is something. This is basically all the amount or the dollars on the order which is delivered, like it's completely delivered, but not invoiced, because then that should be invoiced because it's blocking your cash.
So this would include documents that have one part delivered, one part not, but we've got ship complete checked.
Right.
So that delivered part is in this total. Okay. That makes me feel a little bit better.
And you can look it up. So if you go to the order reference, so change this to a matrix form. Change this to this form.
Okay.
Go to order reference in here on the search.
Okay.
Yeah. Just drag it. Just check. Click on the checkbox. Scroll up. Oh, scroll up. You want to pull it from the columns and put it below the account number. Yeah.
Okay.
Now take this. Right click. Drill down.
Drill down.
And you can scroll down. Scroll down on the field.
Oh, sorry.
we could just filter out fair balance amount.
Keep going back and forth from the screen to the projector.
Is not
Not
0.
0.
Apply. These are all your orders. You can sort it in the descending to see which is the biggest one and then look it up.
So then,
So look it up. 6452 PSO. So we'll see.
okay. So could we then, are the data sets connected to each other at all? If you're,
What do you want to see here?
I was wondering if we can put a column that says whether hold invoicing is checked.
I think if it's hold invoicing, it wouldn't hit the GDNA. It doesn't hit the GDNA if the hold invoicing.
Oh,
Because it's not completely delivered yet.
huh. Okay. 6452.
I might be wrong though. I'll check on that.
Parts orders, parts sales. And I already lost the name. PSO
6452.
452. Too many zeros? Nope. Right number of zeros. Cool.
Status is open.
Okay, this is open.
It's delivered.
See if they're missing anything, because I think all of our,
Ship.
yeah.
It should be invoiced.
So let's double check the hold invoicing thing. Well, I forgot where the checkbox is, Shelley.
Right there. Right hand side. Right under the invoice to address.
And it's unchecked.
When was that last ship? So if you go back to the report, maybe we can put the document date and see. If you go back to
Okay.
the Power BI report and look for document date on the field.
Document date.
Tap on this, yeah. Select this. Okay, and convert this into a tabular form.
Okay.
And convert this into a date. So under the values, click on that. Yeah. No.
Just
Yeah.
did that.
Yeah. So,
Well, where'd 6452 go?
it got
Oh,
sorted.
there it is.
7/9/2018. So there's
So-
$3,000 from there. So you can look it up based on the dates and which are the oldest ones. If you sort it by the document date in an ascending order, it will tell you, like, how long, which are the ones which you need to be worried about.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Well, it appears we've still got
So you want to
Problem.
sort this in the date thing.
dates. Wow.
So you got something from 5/30. Maybe look at this, PSO 8, 9, 10. And this should be something that your parts manager look at and do it.
The thing that the people that need to be looking at it are eCare, because there's supposed to be a job invoicing these every night. Oh, Shelley, you're in it.
I got out of it.
So that one, let's see, shipped date. Make sure they were delivered a long time ago too? Or is there a shipped date?
Mm-mm.
delivered at 5:30.
Oh. Sorry, where were you pointing? Duh. So is that field mean all?
I would think so, the latest.
Okay.
So it's all delivered, it's all completed, why isn't... See, it would not... Your once you put in for invoice, the job would run for invoice posting and the finalization. It's not going to automatically invoice if it is complete. Like, you know, it has to be put in for the invoicing, right?
So we were actually told not to do the release to invoicing.
Release to invoicing, you were told not to do. Let me see what job is being set up for you to run. ASM, Fin, Emacs, capitalization, posting and finalization, post-integration transaction to finance, and this is the global selection for finalization, MMI, parts invoicing. Yeah, this is doing print part sales invoice by batches.
Parts batch invoicing. Parts invoicing.
Yeah, so it just does it by your branches. It's just got a range of offers, and then it just prints the invoice batch.
And there's two of them. PRT batch invoice and PRT invoice. It looks like they're running simultaneously too.
Yeah, what's going on? I can check. I'll talk to Ashish or someone and see what they set up and why are they doing, and I can check on that.
Okay. Well, I guess the good news is the other departments appear to be.
Yeah, it's always like the parts and service which are higher than the rest.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so yeah, this would kind of give you an idea on looking this up, and then
Is there a field that would have the payment terms?
in AR there would be.
Okay.
This is not reached AR yet. You want the
Oh,
customer
right.
payment terms
Right.
or the invoice payment terms?
Basically, my end goal is if the terms of payment on this document says COD, then our parts department should have invoiced it immediately. If it says net 30 like
So
this, it should have run.
what do you want to do in that case is, so let me make myself the presenter again.
Okay.
The best way to look at that, or a better way to look at that would be
Presenter.
go to the AR side and create a report saying what is my COD AR balance. It sounds so COD AR Okay, and then go to terms. Payment, and then say just COD. Oh, you got 10 million in COD AR.
And I guess maybe add CNH too, because they're supposed to invoice those immediately as well.
Got 30 million. And then what else do we need? So let this be, and you got COD AR aging over 90 days.
How? Whoa. Which means it would have to be migrated, right? We haven't been on the system 30 days.
Yeah, but still open and
90 days.
now. And then you could just look at these and say in the grid room. So why does the customer say credit card payments?
That's where the CNH
Okay.
AR goes.
And that's how you want it, or?
Because technically we're supposed to invoice CNH, so now it's an AR from Case. They invoice the customer, or put it on the customer's account and pay us.
So this is what you should look at for your COD AR. The GDNI is not hit your AR yet, so they are not even in your AR.
Okay. But
we could still look at.
I still am curious on the GDNI. Anything that is
you can put
COD, they should have invoiced manually. Anything not COD should have been done at night in the batch.
So you want to go back to that report? But this is where your COD AR comes into play, and it looks like there's a lot of things you can look into.
Yes.
So go back to that report.
Okay.
Type terms of payment. Customer pay terms. Go left. Yeah, just tap the second one maybe. Just tap on that. Let's hope it is linked. So here you go. There is a COD and CNH and all of that. So now if you go around to the filter, the visual level filter, expand the customer.
In fact, if I just drag this right here.
As a slicer. No. You have to get out of the report, yeah.
Slicer. Then we can say, let's look at the COD.
Yeah, expand this and also enable multi-select on it. So expand this report. It's looking very tiny, right? It's not even showing. No. Like drag it on the right. The size of it you have to change on the main report.
Okay. That one, make it bigger.
Yeah, fair enough. Now go on to select the filter slicer that you put. Go to format. Selection control. Switch off the single select. That means it will let you do multi-selections.
Okay.
Now you can select whatever. COD, CNH, both of them together is 107,000.
Okay, and I'm going to go back here. Selection control.
So
show that. Select all without those two. And there's what probably should have been invoiced by a job, unless it's just not ready to invoice yet. Wow.
I'm so sorry. Did I hurt you?
No, not at all. How's your phone?
Phone's all right.
Don't mind us. He's just throwing his phone at me. Wow.
So yeah, this gives you something. So I think you should upload it, and we do put that on the daily dashboard as well. Your GDNI totals.
Okay. And are they? I'm gonna guess it's already drillable. Like to drill down to the document level.
I don't think so, but we can add that because that's supposed to be like for everyone to quickly have a look at. So that if it's a GDNI is heavy, then it will tell you, boss, something's not right.
This little scroll bar is kind of crazy. It looks like it's at the very bottom, but you just keep going and going and going and going.
Yeah. Do you have like a bigger screen in your?
Oh yeah, in my office I've got bigger and two.
Yeah, good. So I'm splitting it by the branch. This is my GDNI.
Oh, that's interesting. Whoa.
Who has the most issues?
So you just sorted, but before that there were a bunch of zeros.
Yeah, but
What in the world?
that's equipment.
Oh, equipment. Got it. Okay.
And I need to put in the FST code because initially there was just one and now there are two.
So parts in Lubbock
62,000.
has the most by double. Oh my.
Plus the case.
Uh-huh. Yikes. I'm trying to think of why. Yeah.
I'll call up Ashish. I need to understand more on how it's supposed to be when you say ready for invoicing.
Right.
It would pick up, right? So, and then those two jobs look a little odd. Like, why are there two batches running at the same time?
Yeah.
So let me clarify that because I need to know the history of how they set it up. So.
Okay.
So service looks good. It's 15.
And it may be Ankur or Rohit that would know more about them.
Rohit. Yeah,
Okay.
Whoever is available, I'll just call up the office.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure if Ashish was involved in the parts job or not.
Can we? Oh, he might not. Correct. I can speak with Rohit there, right?
I assume you're already booked somewhere for next week.
Me?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Next 2 weeks.
Okay. Just making sure. You want to stay and find more problems?
Yeah, no, but this is good, right? I mean, you guys have been like 2 months, right?
Oh yeah.
So cool to. I mean, it's better to find everything now than 8 months down the line. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you were looking at HET tax.
Yeah, it's done. I mean, I'll send you the published
Awesome.
version on the HET tax as well.
And I'm not even sure we need a
So
report.
for the miscellaneous, I'm just picking up the first unit that you have.
Okay.
I hope that's okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So.
If they.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
I have a eCare ticket in there for parts and rental invoicing. They've looked at rental, but I haven't heard anything back on it on the parts side. I put them in the same ticket because neither one were automatically invoicing.
Okay.
But
So
they've got back. Rental's running, but I think we still have an issue with parts.
Yeah. I
Um,
think we pretty much confirmed that now.
5-4, and
You
I'm
know
not
what the
sure
ticket number
we're
is?
waiting for them. What?
Can you tell me the ticket number? I can look up the history on what they looked up, what they saw in that.
54773.
Can you say that again?
54773.
And you logged that from yours, right, Shelley?
Possibly, I don't know.
I guess this answers my question anyway. I was curious to see if I could see y'all's tickets or not. And it
Yeah, you
appears
can.
so. That's cool.
Actually, I did this one under the ASCO login.
Okay. Although I don't see it. That's interesting.
It's not on the first page. It's on the
Right.
second page.
773.
Oh, multiple pages. I should have thought of that.
Yeah, we're at 7 already.
Parts one says they've sorted it. Jobs are supposed to be. Hang on, let me.
Still in progress, at least.
They're saying for the orders you highlighted, there was the hold to invoicing flag was checked. PSO 0112139878100054, like 3 or 4 orders which are there that you highlighted on that ticket. They said that the hold to invoicing flag on those were active. And that's why they didn't get on the part side.
So if I go look at those parts tickets. Now, let's see.
Did you get that comment? Have they posted?
So PSO 009878 that is on there. So the first one I looked at is
The comment didn't come through to us.
Yeah, they will post it.
Huh.
So we have,
PSO 009878. It has the hold invoice box is unchecked and it's still sitting out here as open. The part is marked as shipped.
06706. Okay, let's go back. 06706. Enter the part line status, rental partners, rental. What are they saying? Request fast team to check this procedure. Mask is updating using correct on the rentals.
That one's unchecked.
He keeps saying that the whole invoicing flag is checked.
Yeah. Something's weird because you remember I was looking at Martin Vargas's permissions in finance, and it said no authorization, all that stuff. When I submitted a ticket, they said he had authorization, and when I went back and looked, the next day after the ticket,
You talk to them. You should talk to them and ask where did you see it, because when I saw it, I didn't see it. So that
Yeah.
you know, like in the future. So I think initially, at least for the first some months, like whoever from your end coordinates would just call them up and talk to them, saying, okay, I got this and I'm okay with it, but what happened?
Yeah.
So those kind of things would help you. Not just solve that instance, but to understand if it comes up in the future as well. So maybe just call them once or twice a week and then ask them questions.
One question you'd know the answer to, though, is if I have Worktop open, and haven't closed it in like 3 or 4 days?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter? Okay.
It'll time you out unless we set a timeout. So if it's no activity for about 90 minutes, it'll log you out anyways, and then you have to re-sign it.
Huh.
It'll just give you a pop-up saying you got disconnected.
And then it reconnects automatically.
Yeah. When you
And
90 minutes or something, they keep it usually.
okay.
So that's
Just wanted to make sure that it couldn't have needed some kind of refresh or something on this permission.
yeah. Give me I'll speak to the folks who worked on it also, and I'll talk to Ashish and everyone else as to why this is not. Well, they keep saying that the check to invoice flag is ship to hold for invoicing flag is on the ones that they saw. Is that on the hold for invoicing flag?
It's not. I'm looking at one of them right now. All invoicing is not checked.
That one's already completed, John.
Oh, this one's been invoiced now?
Yeah, see the status on your part line says completed?
Oh, okay.
That one's done. But if you look at, there's only one of them left on that list that's not right.
Okay.
And it's the zero. Now I gotta find it again. Hold on. The 009878.
And you hold it at the order level, right? Not at the line level.
So see, the status is shipped.
Shipped. And there's no other lines.
So if you go to, and see the hold invoicing isn't on there.
9878.
And that's just an on account. So it's not like it has to go to CNH or anything. We delivered it on July 6th.
Can you tell me the order number, please? PSO
009878. Mhm. Shelley, here's a weird one.
Hmm.
First one on that GD&I report was PSO 7.
Right?
Completed, so I guess it's been invoiced, right?
Yeah. But I wonder if we've got some that are stuck in integrations that haven't been finalized. I know we had quite a few.
Oh. Shoot. Huh. So if they haven't been finalized, they'd be stuck in GD&I until they're finalized.
Correct. On the integration side, yes.
Oh, and this is probably, a lot of these are probably already invoiced and paid, but we've applied, well,
Stuck in integrations.
Mhm.
It wouldn't hit AR also, right? If you haven't really.
right, which would be the reason they're not, the accounting.
So I've mailed you a file. Let's take this in Excel. Let's
Mhm.
find out the ones which are. So are they invoicing COD manually? Do you have a process to not look at the COD invoices?
They're supposed to be invoicing COD manually, right, Shelley?
Correct.
Okay.
So let's exclude the CODs out, and
Mhm.
that is something that.
And the NA would be migration.
So NA would be migration. You're right. So so what I'm trying to say is, did you set up a process that if they haven't invoiced the COD manually, the job would pick up and invoice it, or you're explicitly leaving that out, you know?
It should pick it up if they did not do it.
Okay. So then let's take the whole list, and I've sent you an Excel where the ship to is marked, and then we'll look it up and see which are the ones where the ship to is not marked, and then you should put that on the e-care saying these are the ones where we see there is no hold for invoicing marked, and you know, and
Okay.
ship, and if they're not invoiced yet, why are they not invoiced?
Okay.
And again, I mean, if they're stuck at the integration, then the problem is something else. It's not the invoicing. If they're not stuck in the integration, then the problem is.
And the only other thing I could see keeping it from invoicing is if they've got ship complete checked, but only some of the parts are received or delivered. So would
that happen?
If they had one on back order or something,
Okay.
one of the parts on back order. But I doubt that's very many of these.
Yeah, at least we'll find out how many of those which don't have that flag and still,
Yeah.
you know, are showing up. The ones which have that, we'll assume they've been held for some reason.
Yeah.
What is the dollar on the others? And if it is tiny dollars, then it's fine. If it is a big dollar,
Okay.
kind of have to.
Cool. Is there anything else we want to go over while Chris and Shelley are on, or?
Yeah, I wanted you to just play with the design aspects of it.
Okay.
In fact, all three of you do, to make sure that you are comfortable enough to be able to get to wherever you need to.
Okay.
So that's one. So we created one. Now, let's look at this. Where is not right now? Where is yours? Okay, this looks okay. Is this?
This is probably one I could have done in Excel because it's not really a.
Publishing kind of a report?
I guess maybe we might publish it, but.
You might want to put in branch and let the branch managers look at it. You want to keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
So what you can do is,